Sige, sige.
Sir Dennis, kumusta yung ating YouTube? YouTube? Okay. Sir Charles, pakibigay yung link sa ating GC.
Okay, good morning, fellow teachers. It is almost 9. Sorry. It is already 9:02 in the morning. So, I guess, hintay lang po tayo ng konting additional participants kasi nasa 24 pa lang po as of today. So, pakisabihan po ang ating mga fellow teachers na mag-log in na po sa ating given link sa GC para po makapag-start na po tayo.
Good morning po. Narinig. Thank you.
Hello po. Good morning, everyone. So as of now, 28 pa lang tayo ang expected participants natin ay 62. So kumusta na kaya? Saan kaya mga kasama natin?
Tawagan mo si... Mabuti po. Hello.
Good morning, fellow teachers. Ready na po? Sige, we'll be starting our virtual in-service training. Bago po tayo mag-start, paki-mic off na po. Paki-mute po ang ating mga microphones at paki-off din po ang ating mga videos. Mga camera.
Good morning, ma'am. Sir.
Okay na, Bes. Paki-check lang sa ating video, no? Ilagay na doon yung ating YouTube streaming link. Click nyo lang po yun. Thank you very much.
Good morning po. Good morning. Good morning, Ma'am Tumang.
Yes, hello sir. Good morning.
Okay, we will start. Good fellow Aborlan National High School.
To fine-tune our to the new normal. May we all observe a moment of silence as we start our opening program with doxology to be followed by the national anthem.
Ang ganda ng buhay, mahal kong Diyos. Sana papuri sa'yo'y tunay na malubos. Nais kong mabuhay sa mundong ika'y ganda, na dinadakila'y pangalan mo't ina. Ikaw na sa amin naman, at sa mga araw na darating pa, dalangin namin ay Pagpalain mo sana, ikaw ang pag-ibig namin at pag-asa. Ikaw na ang bahala sa amin naman at sa mga araw na darating pa. Tanging sa'yo lamang hihingi ng tawa sa bawat sandali. Ikaw na ang bahala. Ako'y ang buhay, mahal kong Diyos. Sana pagmamahal mo sa mundo'y bumuhos. Salamat sa pag-ibig mo. Salamat sa buhay na galing sa'yo. Ikaw na ang bahala sa amin naman at sa mga araw na darating pa. Dalangin namin ay pagpalain mo sana, ikaw ang pag-ibig namin at pag-asa. Ikaw na ang bahala sa amin naman at sa mga araw na darating pa. Tanging sa'yo lamang hihingi ng awa sa bawat sandali. Ikaw na ang bahala. Ikaw na ang bahala sa amin naman at sa mga araw na darating pa. Dalangin namin ay pagpalain mo sana, ikaw ang pag-ibig namin at pag-asa. Ikaw na ang bahala sa amin naman at sa mga araw na darating pa. Tanging sa'yo lamang hihingi ng awa sa bawat sandali. Ikaw na ang bahala. Sa bawat sandali, ikaw na ang bahala.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
At this juncture, It is an honor to introduce to you our new principal, Madam Tonilyn M. Diaz, for the opening remarks to be substituted by our School Teacher Association President, Sir Rainiel Pisanya.
Hello, good morning, everybody. For those who can join and those who are not yet in this virtual in-service training. So first of all, I would like to congratulate the facilitators of this in-service training. So you did a good job for making this virtual in-service training of Aborlan National High School very much possible. And for all of us, this is both an opportunity and at the same time as a challenge. It's an opportunity for us because in the midst of this pandemic, we can still um, go with our function as delivery personnel. Maybe we can consider ourselves also as frontline in education because we are able to link with one another in the midst of this crisis. And for those who are what we call technologically trying or challenged, we can still do it, and we have to do it because that is our major concern now, our major opportunity to function as teachers. And the topics that we have are very good topics and very relevant to our delivery of our academic service. So I wish all the facilitators and at the same time the speakers, God bless and my prayers for you. And at the same time, for the family of Aborlan National High School, God bless us all, and we may learn more in this virtual and in-service training. And we also welcome those who are not part of Aborlan National High School but are still or are participating in this virtual in-service training. So you are very much welcome, and we are glad that we can also help you and share you our capacity to do it as institution. So for all of us, we wish all the best and good luck. God bless us all.
Thank you very much, Sir Rainiel. We are very much enlightened with your meaningful message. At this point, let's hear it again to Sir Catalo, the overview of this virtual in-service training.
Okay, to our Villalobos Schools Division Superintendent, Ma'am Natividad Bayubay, Division of Palawan, to our ASDSS, Ma'am Loida Olivario and Sir Felix Pamaran, and to our CID Chief, Ma'am Aurelia Marquez, to all education program supervisors of the different learning areas and public schools district supervisors of the different districts, especially to Aborlan North District, headed by Ma'am Fe D. Agbon, and to our previous principal, Sir Benjamin J. Lamitar Jr., who currently the district coordinating principal of the Nara district, to Ma'am Elisa A. Panes, our previous senior high school assistant principal too, who is now a full-fledged principal. Greetings and congratulations to you, ma'am. To our newly installed school principal and our mother, Ma'am Tonilyn Diaz. To all the attendees, co-teachers, teachers from the different schools and districts, non-teaching staff, our speakers, and my fellow technical working group of this first ever virtual in-service training entitled Aborlan National High School Capability Building in Times of Pandemic. Greetings of good morning to all of you. Okay, I am tasked today to deliver to you the rationale and the overview of this training. So this training is in accordance with our learning continuity plan in times of pandemic as we adapt the new challenges of the new normal that brings this virus. So it's an hands-on online seminar anchored under the School Learning Continuity Plan, school year 2020-2021. particularly on the objectives number 2 and 3, following the national health protocols of no mass gathering. So this activity will enhance the capacity of the teaching and non-teaching staff, employees of Aborlan National High School, as well as other teachers and leaders in using modern technologies, applications, and gadgets during this time of pandemic. So we need to utilize the Google Meet as a platform in delivering the trainings to prevent face-to-face interactions. So this activity has 4 objectives. First, it will capacitate teachers and others school personnel on online instructions and other alternative modes of instructions. Second, select and implement appropriate models for supervision in staff evaluation and development system. Third, address psychological issues encountered by the employees in this time of pandemic. And finally, ensure safe and effective learning environment in accordance to the new normal condition. The list of the topics to be discussed will be centering on the conduct of the debriefing of and wellness program, utilization of Google Forms, Google Sheet, Google Drive, Google Meet, and Google Classroom. Essential application for teachers, powerful presentation, picture editing, and Tarpapel making, Gmail and Messenger using smartphones and laptops, and familiarization of DepEd Commons, DepEd social medias, pages, and other websites. It also includes action research and new normal as we given time, a much time to do it as part of our compliance in the national needs. Therefore, I'm welcoming everyone that you need to have this kind of knowledge as we enjoy the pandemic time, as well as we learn, as we heal as one, as the hashtag said, ANHS Padayon. And every challenges that we will tackling today, still ANHS will surely and meaningful life learning. Good morning, everyone, and mabuhay.
Thank you very much, Sir Catelo. Now, at this point, may I remind you the following house rules to be observed during this virtual training. So before I give you the house rules, first, let me introduce to you our brilliant speakers for this week-long seminar. To discuss the topic on challenges amidst new normal in education, our first speaker, Mr. Roy Hensele, Master Teacher 2, and Senior High School. Our second speaker is yours truly, and my topic includes the various learning delivery modes in education. To explain to us the psychological first aid and well-being of the teachers in times of pandemic, it is an honor to present to you our third speaker, Sir Tirso Segundo, PhD, Teacher 3 of English Department. It will be followed by the discussion of Data Privacy Act, no other than the very energetic Ma'am Verna Kiamco, Teacher 3 of English Department. During the second day of the webinar, we will be engaging in the topic on action research in new normal, to be discussed by the Master Teacher 1 in Senior High School, the brain of this webinar, Sir Sean Catelo. It will be followed by another exciting and most essential topic on how to use Google Meet, to be given to us by the Mastinik and Mastinding Math Guru, Ma'am Jamalika Anago, Teacher 3. The second day session will end with the last topic of the day, utilizing Gmail and Messenger using smartphones and laptops. Our very own Master Teacher of Science Department, tall, dark, and handsome, Sir Dennis Pabinga. The third day's topic will start with getting familiar on official DepEd pages and DepEd Commons. Our speaker, no less than Ma'am Jonah Lamoste, Teacher 1 and Senior High School. It will be followed by an interactive topic on utilizing Google Sheet. Our speaker is no other than the most knowledgeable bachelor of the Math Department, Sir Patrick Aguilar, Teacher 1. The last session on the third day will end with a topic on how to utilize Google Forms. Another multi-talented teacher of Ann Senior High School, Sir John Edward Cahiles. During the fourth day, two vital topics will be thoroughly discussed. First, the discussion of utilizing Google Drive. Our speaker, one of the Ann's ICT genius, Sir Christian Charles Lester Noblados. Second topic centers on Google Classroom. This will be discussed by another witty teacher of senior high school, Sir David Castor Jr. The last day of the webinar will not be completed without the discussion of the topic Powerful PowerPoint and Excel Utilization. The modern-day makabayan, ang nag-iisang maestro ng Filipino, Sir Ryan Christopher Acosta, Teacher 1. Last but definitely not the least is the topic which focuses on the most essential apps for teachers. Again, another brilliant speaker from senior high school, Ma'am Mary Joy Oridito, Teacher 1. Finally, we are now oriented with the topics and the speakers that we will be listening this week-long webinar. Now, before we continue, let's first have a short break. It's time to relax and shake as we watch this short video.
I'm that, yeah. Been that, still that. Will forever be that, Yeah, I'm the hood Mona Lisa, breaking good into pieces. Had to X and cheese inside my circle like a pizza. I'm way too exclusive. I don't shop on Instagram. Saw the little clothes only fake booties. Bad bill talking cash. Be like water, I'm a mother and relaxing. I would never trip on a if I had him. That's my trash, you the maid, so you backed him. I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty, yeah. Acting stupid, what's happening? What's happening? I'm a savage, yeah. Classy, bougie, ratchet, yeah. Sassy, moody, nasty, yeah. Hacking, stupid, what's happening? What's happening? Eat me and record it, but your edge up all I'm showing. I keep my private, so it's AP all I'm showing. Beefing with you just really getting kind of boring. If it ain't about the money, then you know I'm gonna ignore it. I'm the shit. I need a mop to clean the floors. Too much drill. I keep a knot, I keep a watch, I keep a whip. Ooh, let's play a game. Simon says I'm still there. Hey, I'm still it. Yeah, I'm a savage. Yeah, classy, bougie, ratchet. Yeah, sassy, moody, nasty. Yeah, acting stupid. What's happening? What's happening? I'm a savage. Yeah, classy, bougie, ratchet. Yeah, sassy, moody, nasty. Hacking, stupid, what's happening? What's happening? I'm lit like a match, oh. Hey, ain't even the head is still attached, oh. That body right, but you notice that, oh. I drop a picture, now these still attached, ayy. Don't let that new catch you up and get you whack, I make a call and get a and that smack, This time I pull it, nipple where you at, oh. I'm in a lamb, catch me if you can, oh. I'm kicking bitches out they spot, Sally Chan, yeah, they say I taste like sugar, but ain't sweet.
Okay, maraming salamat. Talagang pinagpawisan po ako dyan sa video na yan. Ginawa ko talaga ang stretching. And now, at this point, may I remind you the following house rules to be observed during this virtual training. Okay. Kindly view our presentation. Okay, first, set to mute your mic and cam during the entire webinar. Second, use chat box for sharing thoughts and questions. Third, Ensure that your screen shows all the slides and videos being presented. Fourth, evaluation sheet should be filled out every day. It will serve as your attendance. So, lahat po tayo, teachers, participants, make sure po na nakapag-answer po tayo ng evaluation sheet kasi dito po natin i-check yung inyong attendance. Next, submit outputs per instruction by the speaker. Linked will be automatically sent or shown. 6, be attentive during the meeting. And of course, number 7, use our official hashtags in all your posts. And po, it will be shown also in your screen. Hashtag ANHS Padayon. Hashtag Palawenyo ako, magiting ako. Hashtag Sulong Edukalidad. Hashtag We Heal as One. Hashtag We Learn as One. Hashtag DepEd tayo and hashtag DepEd Philippines. Tuloy ang edukasyon sa new normal na sitwasyon.
Okay, for our first speaker, with the topic, Challenges Amidst New Normal in Education. May call on our very own master teacher to Sir Roy Hensule.
Good morning to everyone, to our newly principals of Aborlan National High School, Ma'am Tonilyn Diaz, Principal 4, to the personnel of Aborlan National High School, and to our technical working group. And this is the first time I will discuss using virtual way of giving instructions to the topic, since considering the pandemic that we are facing today. And of course, thank you to our Almighty that allowing us today to present the different topics assigned to each speaker. I was tasked to discuss as our Master Teacher 1, Sersian Catelo, entitled Challenges Amidst New Normal in Education. So, the first questions that somebody might ask as of these days, in the field of Department of the Education, how does COVID-19 impact education? So that's the questions for this back to the system of education in our country. Not only in our country, globally. So we are having this kind of crisis right now. So while COVID-19 is primarily affecting public health, so very sure that it's affecting public health, still stemming largely from extended school closures. It's stopped, it's being closed because of this crisis. So amidst the new normal due to this pandemic? How can education mitigate COVID-19 impact? So, how can we help? How can we decrease? How can we make measures? So, the Department of Education in our country is fairness, of course. The second is the distance learning. And the third one is resources in education. But I would like also to extend in our uh, situations also, if time permits, we can discuss this. So one is integrate environment and health courses in the curriculum. Second, strengthen environmental policies and hygiene practices. The third, incorporate an online mental health and medical services. Fourth, migrate courses, align curriculum competencies, and scale up teachers training for online learning instruction. Strengthen research efforts, data monitoring, and evidence-based practices. So, this is the issue that we cannot deny as of today. In the Philippines, just this morning, if I'm not mistakenly, the total infected Filipinos all over the country, almost 44,000. So imagine that. Let me start with this. What is COVID-19? So I'll give you a brief explanations what is COVID-19. COVID-19 stands for coronavirus disease and even referred to as the 2019 novel coronavirus or 2019 nCoV. That's from Bender 2020. The COVID-19 virus is linked to severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2 SARS-CoV that similarly can be as fatal according to Meng, Hua, and Bayan 2020. So the highest peak, the maximum that this disease, that this virus can really affect worldwide to the lives of every people. This new virus can be transmitted, imagine, just in minutes, through droplets or even touching surface metals or other materials which have been infected from a person who has respiratory problem. So because of the vulnerability, even in school settings, thousands of schools closures are implemented the world over due to COVID-19. As of April 6, 2020, from UNESCO, reported that there has been 1,576,021,818 affected learners out of 91.3% total enrolled learners in 188 countries in all levels of learning. So it's not a joke. It's not a joke for the first time in history. So in our country, in the Philippines, right now, due to the 4,195 courses of be Department of Health. Online tracker report the COVID-19 pandemic really causes a massive impact in higher educational institutions. The country immediately opted for online learning. Some teachers recorded and uploaded their lessons online for the students. And use Google Classrooms, WebQuest. This WebQuest is a very good over effects can already be observed in education, stemming largely from extended school closures. The following are among the key issues to consider. So we cannot avoid these situations. As the Department of Education uh, announced already, addressing in the basic education through the learning continuity plan, or shall we say LCP, which will be in effect by the time school year 2020-2021 opens on 24 August. That according to our secretary, she said that the learning continuity plan is the agency's major response in ensuring the health, safety, and well-being of the students. Teachers and personnel in the time of the coronavirus disease 2019 pandemic, while finding ways for educations to continue amidst this crisis for the upcoming school year. So According to her, the delayed of the opening of classes to ensure that our learners and teachers are given time and be properly equipped to adjust to this new learning environment. So the policies also, according to her, continuously guided by science and by the advice of our health experts. Educations and must continue, but only under the conditions and health protocols set by the DOH and the World Health Organizations. So, go back to what I said, enhancing preparedness while keeping schools open. That is means enforcing, supporting preventive actions in schools. Most government rolled out awareness campaigns through schools and other platforms on hygiene and sanitations to students. So locally, in our school, we have established a facility such as washing a place for our students. So proper hygienes, we can suggest the following. One, maybe wash their hands regularly with warm water and soap. It's very effective. Another, avoid touching their eyes, nose, and mouth. Remember that the virus is highly contagious and can be transmitted. So, sensitive. Next, another suggestion may be the use of disposable tissues instead of their hands to cover their mouths when they have coughs, and throw tissues away immediately after use. For also for the parents, they should follow public health recommendations if certain areas in the country are declared to be epidemic. We observe now our teachers in the field are campaigning awareness locally by giving instructions. Before, our principal has designated us to the different clusters in the barangay to reach our students, plan for starting the bridging program, giving informations how to enroll, and of course, informations about the classes to be started on August 24. Again, governments can use the education, physical, and human resources to address the epidemic, given their level of educations and profile within communities of low literacy. Educators can serve as advocates and resources that would increase awareness and provide guidance. So limit physical contact by reducing social and extra curricular activities. This has been rolled out by individual schools. Yes. Regionally or nationally by government looking to enforce social distancing. So very evident po ngayon, social distancing is observed. Second is using distance learning to mitigate loss of learning. So even the pandemic is now going on under the new normal, as if the pandemic, presuming that it has nothing but education must continue. While schools are closed, many countries have turned to distance learning as a means of mitigating for. But you know, I would like to say that teachers are not ready yet on having this online method, but we have to face it, the reality. Lost time in continuing education services. Some countries are simply putting resources on their website and making available more products, but not necessarily online classes. So, not online classes, just like the plan that we have talked by our principal, the SLM, the self-learning modules. The self-learning module is another method since face-to-face is not allowed. Another, we shift to what we call other online platforms. You know, this SLM is just like a school in a box. Why do we say that school in a box? Because the learning materials is being taught and being reached out to every students to continue for learning. Providing resources to work at home can now be done using different technological options. But I tell you, it must be case-to-case basis because in our country, it needs a large amount of budget. Now that the government is very problematic when it comes to financial matter, a lot of money is being released to augment our personal needs just recently. Why do I say that? In this type of online learning, it might not be a quality education. So why? Because, as I told you, many of our students cannot access to online method. Some has no laptops, no cell phones, or even tablets or anything that can be a source to interact online. But of course, it's a long time dream on the part of our system that to be virtual one day. But we have to deal that our government is not yet stable as much as we have like other countries. So connectivity and different type of devices, for example, ensuring accessibility for students with disabilities vary also widely across income level also. So, kaya nga po, sinasama natin yung mga person with disabilities, especially in our learners. In addition to this, the infrastructure and connectivity for teachers and administrators. Familiarity with the tools and processes are also key factors in providing distance learning. So the third one is the use of education resources to support the general response. In our environments of low capacity and weak infrastructure, some countries have used education facilities and staff to support the larger community during the crisis. For example, in areas of low or no connectivity at all, no internet connections, they can't go online. In communities like this, education facilities can be used as information's hub. There is a hub or a center of medical holding centers once schools are closed. So they have to establish this kind of method. I would like you to add in the distance learning, as I told you, about this web quest that I mentioned before. Because as of now, the methods online that we are using is synchronized type 1. This is very effective. What is all this web quest? Web quest is an inquiry-oriented lesson format in which most of all the informations that learners work with comes from the web. So meaning, the students can work independently, alone, or it can be done by group. The time is not limited. They can access the time they want, so they have freedom. Maybe if we have the IT in our schools, we can motivate and ask for help on how this method can be created. It can be created using various programs, including simple word processing, document, that includes links to websites, including also PowerPoint, Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Office. No? And people also might ask, or teachers, what is web quest used for? Why is it important? Fellow teachers, the purpose of using web quest is to encourage students to use information rather than gathering and participate in meaningful classroom discussions. Since face-to-face is not allowed. And it's much better if the place has a good connectivity. Webquest also support. It integrates technology instructions for higher educations maybe on some time next. Thank you very much for all of this. I hope it will be useful for us. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your very informative report in regards with our COVID-19. Actually, this time we're facing a very hard challenges, especially in education, as we only know on the later, we only know the traditional way we educate our students. So, may I call. Okay, okay lang ba yung internet natin, mga teachers? Okay lang po ba? Yung mga naka-sign in po, okay lang po pa kayo dyan? Okay, kung okay po, kindly chat po. Kindly chat to the chat box if it's your internet is okay. Okay, may Ma'am Sarah, Ma'am Sarah, Ma'am Sarah Jane Phoenix, okay lang po ba yung signal? Ma'am Nita, Ma'am Nita. Okay lang po ba ang signal? Okay, okay lang din po dito. Okay, Ma'am Agil. Okay. Di ko na papahabain ito. I'll just call our next speaker, our very own Master Teacher 1, with her topic, the adoption of various learning delivery modes in education by Ma'am Rochelle Ann Perez Tumang.
Hello, sir. Thank you for that introduction. To our active participants, our fellow teachers of Aborlan National High School, to the brilliant organizers and technical working group of this webinar, headed by Sir Catelo, to our beloved and supportive principal, Madam Tonilyn Diaz, a pleasant morning to all. I am assigned to discuss in this very meaningful webinar the topic on which will be the answer to the challenges that we are facing right now. Since the pandemic, it is the way on how to continue our service despite this critical situation. In order to come up with the best learning modality to use, Department of Education has launched this algorithm in order to us to assess which modality will fit in our community or in our specific school. As you may observe, questions being presented in the algorithm is the same with the online survey and questions on the enrollment form or the LESF. After a thorough analysis, DepEd Palawan, under the supervision of our SDS, Madam Natividad Bayubay Seso 6, released a Memorandum Order number 117, Series 2020, on the learning modalities for public elementary and secondary schools in the division of Palawan. To you our adapted learning modality in our schools division of Palawan. So under this division memorandum, so according to this here are some support modalities being suggested. First is the online distance learning, or ODL. This can support the use of MDL in schools or classes where the learners have the IT equipment and internet connectivity. It features teachers as facilitator, engaging learners' active participation through the use of various technologies, access through the internet, while they are geographically remote from each other during the instruction. Next is the radio or TV-based instruction, another support to the MDL. So this is another mode of delivery of instruction in education, which can be adopted by the school within the range of local, national, radio, or TV networks. And this modality, self-learning modules are converted to radio scripts for radio-based instruction or video lessons for TV-based instruction. Learners may access the lessons through their radio transistors or television. I'm very proud to show you the elementary schools here in Aborlan. From Marikit Elementary School, they have already set up their radio transistor. Hello? Okay, so as you can see in the Facebook post of Sir Jong Herrera, okay na. I think this is the most effective antenna setup. So they have already set up their antenna within the 4-kilometer radius or range. So meaning to say, their learners will be able to be instructed by the learning instructions or the lessons or the competencies that they will be learning through the radio-based instruction. So we are very proud that here in Aborlan, we have already had this kind or initiative with this kind of radio-based instruction. That is from Marikit Elementary School. Now, the next support to the MDL is the blended learning. In this particular learning or mode of learning, this modality is the combination of the online distance learning, modular, and radio-based instruction. And lastly, the face-to-face instruction. This will be the last option among the learning modalities because we must adhere or comply to the directive of the President of the country that there will be no face-to-face classes unless vaccine for COVID-19 is already available. So with this modality, the learners and teachers are both physically present in the classroom, as we all know. This face-to-face can be considered for grades 3 learners in view of their need to direct physical supervision from the teachers. However, schools must have proper risk assessment and must adhere to all existing guidelines and health protocols before this modality can be used. Now, I want to share this latest release last July 2020. DepEd secures NTC support for TV radio-based instruction. So when we say NTC is the National Telecommunications Commission. Let me read to you the content or some of the excerpt in this particular press release. DepEd through NTC, headed by Commissioner Gamiel Cordoba, has requested television, radio, and cable operators to broadcast educational materials and instruction as part of Department's Basic Education Learning Continuity Plan. The Commission has already released a separate memorandum for cable operators, reminding them on the provisions of Section 6.3.2, Item C of NTC Memorandum Circular number 40888, which requires them to carry remind you, free public service features, including education, culture, and civic. So according to Undersecretary for Administration Alain Del Pascua, according to him, the department is determined to strengthen education delivery through television, whether it's through commercial broadcasts, TV networks, free channels, government-owned TV station, and even cable TV networks. The initiative is also backed by the Department of Information and Communications Technology, DITC Secretary Gregorio Hanasan II, who instructed NTC to mandate broadcast stations, channels, and cable TV providers to allocate broadcast hours and the use of equipment and resources to DepEd free of charge. So we are very lucky that the different agencies in our country is very willing to help us, very willing to help the DepEd in order for us to deliver the learning to the students despite of this pandemic. So before I end, since this is a very brief discussion on the learning delivery mode because it has been already discussed thoroughly by Sir Roy Hensole, I want to end with the official statement of our very own Secretary, Leonor Magtulis Briones. In her official statement, according to her, it will be recalled that at the height of the Marawi uprising, our call was education must continue. In the midst of the coronavirus crisis, our call remains the same. Education must continue, whether face to face or virtual, with or without physically going to school. We assure our learners, parents, teachers, and the general public is that any decision that we make will have their health, safety, well-being as the primary consideration. We shall overcome. As teachers, we shall overcome. Thank you and good day.
Thank you, ma'am, for your very quick and informative discussion about our learning modalities, our suggested learning modalities in this time of pandemic. Actually, as part of our graduate school, it's already discussed the different kinds of learning modalities as blended learning because our nation is composed of islands. Therefore, there has different kinds of needs. So yung sa NCR pwedeng hindi pwede dito sa Palawan, yung sa Palawan pwedeng hindi sa NCR. Therefore, the secretary provided different learning modalities. That this discussion of the two speakers a while ago is the introduction in terms of the COVID-19. Then there are answers towards the challenges that we are facing right now. So I thank you very much for that information, Ma'am Tumang. Okay, let me call our third speaker for the day with a topic entitled Psychological First Aid and Well-Being During COVID-19 Pandemic. So, presented by Dr. Tirso P. Segundo, Teacher 3.
Okay, well having... Thank you, Sir Capello.
Okay. While having...
Medyo nervous po, sir.
Sir, kamusta ka? Huwag tayong nenervyos eh. Lahat tayo dito kailangan ng retooling in terms of new things that we can get. Tama po ba?
Thank you,
Okay,
Sir
sir, take it
Capello.
away.
To Ma'am Tonalyn Diaz, our Principal 4 of Aborlan National High School, non-teaching and teaching personnel alike, and all participants, good morning. Our topic, or my topic, is on psychological first aid and well-being during COVID-19 pandemic. Now, starting January this year or even earlier, upon hearing the spark of the novel coronavirus in Wuhan, China, which was later on renamed as COVID-19 or coronavirus disease 19, we started up preoccupying ourselves with a lot of questions like, oh, what will happen to us? What if the virus is airborne? Is it related to the mark of the beast or the 666 or the Antichrist? And many other questions that could disturb our healthy mind. Our normal mind is preoccupied with a lot of worries or doubts, uncertainties, which affect our normal thinking as teachers. Take note, as teachers, we may have the tendency to forego our own self-care needs because of these mental disturbances and may eventually fail us with our responsibility first to our own selves, families, neighbors, and of course to our own students and the whole school community. Hence, we should be well versed about PFA. Now, what is PFA? So we might be used to the notion and application of PFA or FA when it comes to cuts, bruises, and sprains. When skillfully delivered, psychological first aid builds resilience for individuals and communities. We all know that resilience is our ability to get up from fall. PFA also diminishes the need of higher level formal mental health interventions. So let us not allow ourselves to be submitted for mental health care. Instead, we prevent. The World Health Organization outlines a basic approach to psychological first aid, represented in 3 words. Very easy to memorize. We have the 3 L's. First is look, second is listen, and third is link. First, look. Let us look at our situation and ask, am I safe? Physically, mentally, we can add socially. Are we safe socially? Maybe baka may mga hindi pagkakaintindihan dyan. Spiritually. If not, take steps towards safety. Second, once achieved, then we ask again, are others safe? If not, we should take steps to remedy their safety. Once achieved, then we ask the third question. What signs of stress can I observe in myself and others? It is very important that we know the signs of stress that we have in ourselves and others. This would help us. Common stress reactions in adults. I'm not saying stress reactions could help us, but knowledge of these reactions could help us a lot. We have feelings. with anger, rage, irritability, resentment, anxiety, fear, despair, hopelessness, numbness, terror, guilt, sadness, helplessness, overwhelm. On thoughts, we have hard to focus and make decisions, forgetful or confused, lose sense of time, self-criticism, and blame. Intrusive thoughts or flashback, cut off from reality, self-harm, or suicidal. On physical effect, we have fatigue, trouble sleeping, agitation, physical symptoms, appetite changes, easily startled, cravings for caffeine, nicotine, food, alcohol, lightheadedness, weakness. On behaviors, crying spells, angry outbursts, avoiding people or place, being argumentative, school or work problems, risky behaviors, or inattention to self-care. And on spirituality, change in relationship with God, abandonment of prayer, questioning meaning of life, fairness, justice, faith, rejection of spiritual care providers, or increased trust in higher power, gratitude for divine protection, increased sense of purpose, or service to others. Fellow teachers, let us look at those stress reactions and see what do we have in us right now. Because if you don't recognize them, if you don't look at them, then we could not be of help primarily to our own selves, and of course, eventually to our own students. Take note that in a prolonged disaster event like this COVID-19 pandemic, mental health challenges arise when compared to an isolated, time limited disaster like an earthquake. Well, just a while ago, we were talking about, oh, what will happen this first year? This um, pandemic might still extend to another year or 3 years. So we have those challenges. Therefore, we have the moment to talk about coping. Coping is the ability to survive, surmount, or getting to the other side of the river. Of course, we all cope in different ways, sometimes adaptive, sometimes not. We should encourage adaptive coping for ourselves and others. Now, it's very important that we look at the signs of stress because it is essential for us to know this, for us to go to the next skill, which is listen. Listening is for us to know the truth or the proper way of dealing with things. We should use ears to embody a calm, compassionate connection to another. Now, too often in times of stress, our actions and thoughts speed up. Am I right? And if we don't know how to listen, we may cause more damage to others instead of helping them. As teachers, we are expected to have the ability to subconsciously influence those around us in a positive manner, which can aid in smoother recovery from vicarious trauma. Now, speaking of vicarious trauma, there is a tendency that the helpfulness that we show to others, the negativity that we show to others, may be transferred to them. Hence, instead of helping them, we are causing even more troubles to them. Now, grounded, calm, and compassionate listening enable us to go to the next scale, which is length. Of course, we are social creatures, and our social bonds are tested during times of stress. Are our bonds being tested at this moment? Stress induces flight or fight responses. Now, what is flight? This is the tendency of a person to resort into some ways of easing out anxiety, like drinking liquor, like taking drugs, and so on. Or fight responses that could be through verbal fight or physical fight. Now, linking ourselves and others to resources comes stress dominant arousal states and contributes to physiologic and psychic stability. Remember that when we link with others, that could be a medicine to us, both physically and psychologically. As the saying goes, no one lives alone, no one is an island. We need one another. Caring for our psychological needs during COVID-19 pandemic is paramount or very crucial to sustaining a non-traumatizing response to disaster within ourselves, family, neighbors, and of course, community as a whole with the school. Now, embodying a stance for PFA within ourselves would cause two things. First, strengthen self-care and resilience. Second, prevents the harm of trauma. our friends, our neighbors, our colleagues look at us. They see what we do. So they emulate the things that we do. I do hope that we do good things only, so they could emulate good things from us. Number 5, staying healthy. We should schedule our daily routine. If we can prepare a daily routine chart, that would be fine. I know many of us are doing this. Let's remember John Maxwell. By the way, my wife and I met him in Beijing International Christian Fellowship. He says, you will never change your life until you change something you do daily. The secret of your success is found in your daily routine. So let us check our daily activities. Oh, another thing I like, reattach. What does this mean? It means reflecting, setting work goals. Again, reflecting, setting work goals. Next is detach. What is detach? Getting rid of negativities, getting rid of negative thoughts. Of course, repeat, reattaching, repeat, detaching. Oh, by the way, among ladies, I hear the word retouch. Well, you can do that because there's also touch in it. And then if we keep repeating, reattaching, and detaching, then we can nurture creativity in our daily activities. Number 6, maintaining balance. Yes, balance is very important. We should identify responsibilities versus activities. So right now, working from home is a responsibility. So we have a lot of duties for our job, managing our finances, caring for our family members, our friends and neighbors, and so on. But of course, we also need relaxation moments. But we should balance. Identify what is overwhelming. Identify what's bothering you. What is it that bothers you so much? Oh, maybe you are not in good terms with your husband or spouse or children or neighbor. So what's the solution for this? Take a break, stretch out, go to the beach, play the guitar, sing, and any other activities that could give you a break. Avoid multitasking. Focus on one thing at a time. We can never be successful if we do 2 things at the same time. Limit screen time. What does this mean? Don't get hooked to your gadget. Have time to read together with your children, with your family, play together, cook meal together, do gardening together, but not eat one another. Okay? Also, take or track your time. Come on, avoid saying, I don't know about that. I can't do nothing about that. We should say, we should not say, I am busy. So track our time. Everything has a proper time. And then ask yourself, is this adding value to my life? As to other extra activities that we do, we should always ask ourselves, if I do this, would it give value to my life? If not, discard it. 7, staying motivated. We learn that motivation is the driving force within us in 2 kinds, intrinsic, which is from the inside to the outside, extrinsic from the outside to the inside. Now let's focus spend time on the intrinsic motivation. So what should we do? We should dream big. This pandemic is not hindrance. So we should dream big for our own selves, our students, our family, our colleagues. So what can we do together? Aborlan National High School, we are doing our activities and we dream big also. Commit to goals. So we have the bridging program. We have taking master's, PhD online. Wow, we have chances. Feed your passion. Okay, if your passion is on writing, feed it. If your passion is in art, gardening, cooking, come on, read more so you can improve your passion. On emotional management, practice compassion. Again, we should learn to adjust during this pandemic. We should allow ourselves to adjust. Huwag tayong magmukmok at masanay na lang kung ano ang nakasanay. Modify goals. Plant, maybe this week you only plant ampalaya, next week maybe ampalaya and upo. So let's modify our goals. And there's also online selling. But come on, I read something on FB, a reminder from our colleagues in the Department of Education, that we should be careful in posting between 8 to 12 and 1 to 5 because we might be charged because we are expected to work officially from home. Then jump in. What does this mean? Don't procrastinate. You know what? I remember something. Had we accomplished IPCRF earlier, we must not be rushing by now, as tomorrow is the deadline. Am I right? Now, in seeking motivation, remember to slow down. Don't be in a hurry. Slow down. And then let us reframe situation. What does this mean? Turning a negative thought to something positive. That COVID-19 period could be time for reconciliation. You know, I've heard a lot, I've read a lot of reconciliatory moments between and among family members, colleagues, and so on. Forgiveness, sharing, and perhaps marriage, just reminding those singles out there. And then let it go, meaning allow things to happen or pass as they should happen and pass. Number 8 is thinking positively. So we have here some positive stickers. Get some positive posts, quotes, or quotations, sayings, proverbs, and then post this at the reach of your eyes. So every time you feel sad, you can look at them and get reflected. And then cancel out method. So what should we cancel? We should cancel negative thoughts or negativities with we could also apply 3 things gratitude ritual. Here is a sample. Of course, you can have
Pang
your
at signal.
Yun nga. Siguro we will have only, di ba? We need to read some comments
Yes,
siguro.
sir. Go ahead. Meron ba?
Ma'am, no? Is there any question po? Question po sa mga speakers po natin. Sa first
Okay.
speaker po natin,
While they
baka
are-
pwedeng mag-question.
Okay, I think we're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay, sir, nakabalik ka na naman po. Wow,
Yeah,
sige
yeah.
po.
Okay.
Sige lang po.
So thank you so much.
Hirap talaga kapag
Kaya nga
magkakalayo
po.
tayo, no?
Okay. Yes. So let's continue on. Cancel out method. Let's remove our negative thoughts. And then 3 things gratitude ritual. You can have your own, but here's the sample. I'm thankful to be healthy and safe. I'm thankful for laughing with my dad on the phone today. I'm thankful to have supportive colleagues at work. So we can repeat doing it. It is okay to laugh. Of course. Don't just laugh without any reasons at all. We can watch shows, we can listen to comedy stories, and so on. And the last but not the least, embracing change. Change, as we all know, is the only permanent thing on earth. So let's not forget that. Change is not always a bad thing. We have today things like Zoom in, Google Meet, online, and so on, which might, bother our minds. But come on, we all should learn together. We refrain from complaining. We have to go with the change. How should we think about change? So we should think about change as coping. Again, how to survive, how to surmount, how to get to the other side of the river. Resilience, or the ability to get up from any kind of fall, lowering risks of anxiety and depression. Take note that depression kills. It always suggests death or suicide, and it's #1 cause of death among young people worldwide. Accept what is and is not in your control. Please, no need to blame anybody for the COVID-19 pandemic. We should start from where we are. Embrace a growth mindset.
So, since we are having technical issues by and by, I think it's really helpful that according to
Yes
Sir
po.
here, so connection is the key. Not PM is the key, guys, ha? Connection is the key. So, Sir Shan, how
Yes,
are you?
ma'am.
Where are you
I'm
now?
okay.
How's Puyo?
Very good. Malakas po yung signal dito, ma'am.
Parang mahangin dyan sa Kuyo. Oo.
Oo po.
Shut.
Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
andyan na.
Okay.
Okay, andyan na.
Oo,
He's
nakabalik
back.
po, sir, ulit.
Where were we?
Sige lang. Challenges to eh. Challenges to ito,
Yeah.
sir. Eh. Kaya part ng challenge natin. Yes po.
Okay. So where are we now? Embracing a growth mindset. So don't be negative in our thinking. Though we have a lot of challenges, we can say, I can do this, we can do this. So we can figure out together what we can do to face challenges. Be mindful. We should not be just swayed by discouragement. We should keep on the right track. Remember, there are a lot of fake news, so we should know where we stand. And then learn how to reflect and prioritize. Now, during this time, we have a lot of reflections. Maybe you can have your own reflections. So we have appreciation of frontline or essential workers, not just locally, but worldwide too. We also learn work-life balance. We also learn hygiene, washing hands, disinfecting. And then we're able to increase frugality or wise financial management. And then we learn home cooking. Hence, we dine at home together. We learn greater use of puzzles or board games and others. We do yard work, gardening, home environment. We are able to use our solitude and prayer, increase capacity to change plans. Remember, UCQ, GCQ, MGCQ, buti na lang walang IQ at barbecue. And then we were able to discover wonderful and gracious people sharing their wealth to those in need and also increase awareness on the importance of human contact or linking, increase learning on how to use social media. Well, a lot of us are experiencing such things for the first time. And then take note, we are able to survive without watching sporting events, no provinciano, no Sky Direct. We're still healthy until now. And then we learn how to be patient and persevering. We learn more what it means to be a husband, a dad, a friend, a daughter, etc. And then this is the time where we are able to test ourselves as we model to our family members, neighbors, friends, relatives on how to live during this pandemic, on how to give during this pandemic. And friends, fellow teachers, the last is so important. God is the only way to peace in moments like this. We should not forget this. Apart from God, we are nothing. So we should entrust everything unto our Creator. As educators, we are in the spotlight to help guide students through these difficult times of COVID 19. We need to model moving forward in the shadow of doubt and uncertainty. By being vigilant about our own well being, we can in turn help others. And before I end, may I invite you to this chart, starting on our left. What do I want to be during COVID 19? So we experience this fear zone where we grab food, toilet paper, medications we don't even need. We spread emotions related to fear and anger. We complain frequently. We forward all messages we receive without filtering them. We get mad easily. Then we move to the next side, learning zone, where we start to give up what we cannot control. We stop compulsively consuming what hurts us, from food to news, and we identify our emotions. We become aware of the situation and think how to act. We evaluate information before spreading something false. And we recognize that we are all trying to do our best. And the last side, the growth zone, where we think of others and see how to help them. We make our talents available to those who need them. We live in the present and focus on the future. We are empathetic with ourselves and with others. We thank and appreciate others. We keep a happy and emotional state and spread hope. We look for a way to adapt to new changes. And finally, we practice quietude, patience, relationships, and creativity. God bless us all.
Thank you very much,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. I thank you, sir. Talaga na natuto talaga kami sa iyong explanation about psychological effects
Yes,
during
and
pandemic.
I was able to
Actually,
gain knowledge when it comes to the fear zone and the learning zone and the growth zone. So we must be able to assess ourselves, evaluate,
yes,
filter
ma'am.
emotion so that we'll be able to grow amidst this pandemic.
Actually, actually, ma'am, yung na-restrain sa atin, hindi lang yung physical natin, di ba? Because we are being restrained by our physical movement, but also it affects our emotional and psychological in terms of we wouldn't able to do our things yung noon. So parang nagbago talaga. There are radical change and shift. Therefore, we need
Okay.
this kind of explanation.
So before we
Okay, ma'am?
continue, sir, let us ask Ma'am Carmela. Ma'am Carmela, mic on please. Ma'am Carmela. Are you still there, Ma'am Carms? Okay, you would like to volunteer and share your idea or your insights about the past three sessions that we have today. Would like to volunteer. Okay, Ma'am Lachika or Ma'am Villarba. Good morning po. Any insights
Ma'am
po
Weng.
that you would like to share? Yes, Ma'am Weng. Mic on po tayo.
Ito na lang si Ma'am Salvania. Ma'am Salvania.
Yes, sir.
Okay, ma'am.
Ayan na po si Ma'am
Yes,
Weng.
ma'am. Ma'am Weng.
No, ma'am.
Yes, Ma'am Weng, we can hear you. Any insights po
Yes,
that you
ma'am.
would like to share or you
Oh,
have
ma'am.
learned?
Hello. Hello.
Yes, ma'am. How's
Good
your
Yes, good
connection, ma'am?
morning. Still assimilating and meditating on everything that I have heard from Sir Tirzo. I- I'm sure we all nawawala-wala siya nung nawawala rin sa atin lahat. But I'm thankful kasi ang ganda ng kanyang ang ganda ng kanyang topic and very helpful and useful para sa ating lahat. Thank you very much, Sir Tirzo.
Thank you, Ma'am Weng. Actually, kung hindi po natin ma-view or Yes, Ma'am Weng. Salamat po, Ma'am. Okay, our last and final speaker for today, may call on I may present to you our very own teacher team, Ma'am Verna
Hello?
Villar-Bacchiamco, with her
Okay.
the topic,
So,
Data Privacy
good morning,
Act.
everyone. Good morning to our very own principal, Ma'am Diaz, and also to Sir Lamitar, who is, I know, watching right now, my fellow speakers and facilitators, together with our dear fellow teachers who are now on work from home mode. Okay, so this year, as we face this pandemic, we are stuck on work from home mode, right? So we are all challenged to be equipped with knowledge in working online in order for us to be connected, of course, with our fellow teachers and also with the reports that we needed to submit to our head. And of course, this also calls for our knowledge of data privacy. As we all know, we are all working online. So even before, kahit hindi pandemic, we all know that every one of us has, so we are buying online. We have to be reminded of the Data Privacy Act. And before we proceed with that, let us all first know what is data privacy. Of course, data privacy has always been important. It's why we put locks on filing cabinets and rent safety deposit boxes at our banks. But as more of our data becomes digitized, we share more information online. Data privacy is taking on greater importance, especially in this pandemic. If you all know, there are cases of those persons who've shared online their data or their bank accounts have been hacked. Their money has been, of course, being gotten by these criminals, these culprits outside because of maybe this very low, maybe, o medyo hindi nila alam yung data privacy. So you, as an individual, have a lot at stake when it comes to data privacy. The more you know about it, the better able you'll be to help protect yourself as a large number of risks. So then let's discuss these two important questions. What is data privacy? And why is it important? Okay, data privacy relates to how a piece of information or data should be handled based on its relative importance. Ano nga ba yung importanteng data para sa atin? Pangalan lang ba natin yon? Social media account lang ba natin yon? Of course, everything that is related to us is important. So we have to take notice of it. And now, since we are already working online, it is also called information privacy. It is the aspect of information technology that deals with the ability an organization or individual has to overcome what data in a computer system can be shared with third parties. So ito yung importante mga kaguro. Ang data na laman ng ating computer. Sabi nga nila, as we remind our co-facilitators in this seminar, pag nag-start na po tayo ng ating presentation, be careful of what your computer has. Baka makita yung mga hindi dapat makita, di ba? So that also falls to data privacy. What is private for us should be kept private. Okay? So in the digital age, we typically apply concept of data privacy to critical information. This is also known as one. We have that personally identifiable information or the PII. Huwag po nating pagsusundin ang PII ha. Dahan-dahan lang. Personally identifiable information or the PII. It is any data that could potentially be used or identify a particular person. Of course, alam na alam po natin yan, ang ating full name. Parang ako, Verna Villar-Bacchiamco. The addresses that we have, birth dates, Of course, the social security numbers. So for us teachers, our employee number, importante po yan pag naglo-loan tayo. The driver's license, of course, passport number, email address. We all have our email addresses. I do have 8 email addresses, that's why. And I'm very thankful walang nakakahack ng email address ko. Kung hindi, yung class of clans ko yari na. Huh? Next is the financial data. What is it about our data bank account? Credit card numbers. Importante po yan. Okay? So, next. At school, we have to remember this, my fellow teachers. It refers to a critical personal information of the students and teachers. Everything at school should be confidential. The grades of our pupils, whenever may nagreklamo, meron po kasi yan minsan, may issue yan when I was at my previous school. Magtatanong, bakit ganun yung grade? I will be showing only the grade of those who are having claims. Hindi po pwedeng ipakita ang grades ng iba. So that falls still in data privacy. Also with the teachers, hindi pwedeng malaman ng teachers yan. Yung mga ko, ilan ang sweldo mo? Di ganun. Ilang net? So, we all have to be very careful of our data. Siyempre, matitingin lang ang sweldo mo, may yung account na, tapos naluna na yung account mo. So, in business, dito, mas, kaya nga, may mga deposit boxes yan, yung mga businesses. It also includes the information that helps the company operate. Research and data, development data or financial information that shows how it is spending and investing its money. Of course, imagine if a business establishment would not be very careful of their data and it would be at the hand of a criminal, what would happen, do you think, my fellow teachers? It's almost the same with our data at school. Okay? So next of the critical personal information, the personal health information, or the PHI. This refers to demographic information, medical tests, laboratory result, mental health conditions, insurances information, and other data that healthcare professionals collect to identify an individual and determine appropriate care. So it is also we also have to be very important about it. No one should be having or track a health information of an individual except a professional that collects it. So that is it. That we will never go along without knowing this. Data breach. Kung ang teachers may tayo sa mga contracts natin, may mga breach of contract tayong tinatawag, mayroon ding data breach. And it is referring to the intention of information to an untrusted environment. That information that each and every one of us is having. Other terms for this phenomenon include unintentional information disclosure, data leak, information leakage, and also data spill. So imagine if there were data breach, or if there is data breach, what will happen? And there goes the importance of the Data Privacy Act, or the data privacy. It is important because imagine if a data breach at a government agency can put top secret information in the hands of an enemy. What will happen then? Kapag na-hack na tayo lahat, the data information of the Philippines has been hacked by other countries. What would happen to the Philippines, do you think? We are just a dot in the map. What will happen? So it is important for us to keep our data in private. Also, a breach at a corporation can put proprietary data in the hands of competitor. Of course, that will be the downfall of a business establishment or a corporation if their data has been in hands of the competitor. Another importance that we have to learn, a breach at school Ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina. What happened if the data of the student or the teacher has already been exposed? This could put students' personal identifiable information in the hands of the criminals who would commit identity theft. Ito yung pinakamatindi. Imagine, may taong nagpapanggap na ikaw. Of course, not the face. The data that you have. Diba? There are a lot of issues when I was still a kid, hearing from the teachers who experience paying a loan because their account has been hacked, maybe not hacked, pero nagamit ang kanilang mga data sa paglo-loan. May mga ganon. Huwag na tayo mag-mention kasi delikado po tayo doon. Okay. And next importance is that of a breach at a hospital or doctor's office. So this can put the personal health information in the hands of those who might misuse it as well. Diba? If somebody has known your medical records, they could have put you into shaming. May mga ganon. Mabubuli ka na. So it's important also. Okay. Next. So in order for us, diba? So since we are talking about data privacy, when data that should be kept private gets in the wrong hands, we all know these things as mentioned before. So the average consumer probably doesn't have that kind of money to spend kung halimbawa tayo yon. But then, we have to be reminded that there are expensive steps you can take, you can take to help protect your data. Hindi natin kailangan ng safety deposit box. Makinig na lang tayo sa 5 suggestions na meron po tayo. We have 5 simple tips to help protect your personal data. 1, use a mail slot or locking mailbox so that thieves can't steal your mail. Sa akin siguro sa baul na lang yan nilagay. Nakabaul pa. Ang mga love letters nakabaul. Yan, ganyan katindi. Number 2, before discarding, shred documents including receipts and bank credit card statements that contain personal information. Importante po ito. Kung wala tayong pang-shred, sunugin na lang po siguro pressure, pampaapoy, yung sunog na sunog. Next. Number 3, make sure to secure your home Wi-Fi network and other devices so criminals can track your activities. Siyempre, importante po yan. Kailangan natin i-secure ang ating mga home Wi-Fi. Huwag na natin ipakita-kita sa daan. Next, don't automatically provide your social security number. Or if not social security number, all the numbers, of course. Our bank account numbers. Online, I have watched issues about this where she posted her account. I don't know what happened to her. She posted it. And later, nagtakan lang siya na nalimas na yung laman ng kanyang bank account. Yun po. We have to be very careful about our security numbers. All the numbers. Phone numbers. Excuse the phone numbers, fellow teachers. Ako nga parang gusto ko rin mag-react nakaraan kasi yung number ko nakapost sa lahat ng mga walls. So hanggang alas 11 ng gabi may tumatawag sa akin. Sabi ng mister ko, ano yan? May ka-callmate. Enrollment po, enrollment. Except enrollment and school issues. Yan po. Importante rin po yun talaga sana. If you don't want with your number. Next, use strong number 5. Last but not least, lagi naman po yung sinasabi, di ba? Lagi naman po yung sinasabi, di ba? That we have to be careful of our password. Kahit si Mister, hindi dapat nakakaalam ng password. Joke. As much as possible, dapat iba-iba ang password. Ayan, may nag-suggest po niyan sa akin, kakapasok lang sa database. Dapat iba-iba ang password sa social media. Pwede yung usual na ginagamit na password, tapos Mag-add lang po tayo ng FB sa dulo. Wow, sinabi ko rin. Para same pa din. Pero unique pa rin po ang password. Diba? So we have to take notice of this. Okay, one final recommendation that I would like to tell you, my fellow teachers. Wala pa. Okay. Regularly assess the privacy settings on your social media accounts. That's it. The privacy settings should be checked regularly. Okay? So, let's move on. The very important question, are there existing Philippine laws on the use of internet? O, di ba? O, internet na po tayo, online. Are there laws? Covered ba itong ginawa kong pambubuli kay Jam sa laws? Oh, next slide, please. Okay. Here we go. Last na. Last ilang slides pa? Laws and sanctions on the internet use. One, we have to be aware of this. This is my topic. Republic Act 10173. My quiz after. Data Privacy Act of 2012. What is this? Republic Act 10175. Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. And third, Republic Act 9775. Anti-Child Pornography Act. We have to know this since we are all on the online world, new normal eh. So, Data Privacy Act of 2012. This is an act protecting individual personal information and communication system in the government, in the private sector, creating for this purpose a National Privacy Commission and for other purposes. So it is clear, it is a law that seeks to protect all forms of information. So be it private, personal, or sensitive, it is meant to be covered both natural and juridical persons. So when you say juridical persons, it is relating to the administrators or justice or office of a judge involved in the process of processing the personal information. Yun po yan siya. So, lahat po yan protected. Pangalan po natin, numbers, kasali po yun doon sa pinoprotektahan ng batas na ito. Next. Cybercrime Prevention Act. Ano ba ito? Matagal na po natin ito naririnig. Huwag na po natin hintayin madampot pa tayo ng cybercrime operatives. Diba? O, Cybercrime Prevention Act of 2012. This is an act of defining cybercrime, providing for the prevention, investigation, suppression, and imposition of penalties, therefore, and for other purposes. So it aims, this law, or this act, it aims to address legal issues concerning online interactions and the internet in the Philippines. So everything that we will be posting, if someone gets hurt or being discriminated, dyan na po yan papasok lahat. Next, anti-child pornography. Ito po yung pinaka-importanting ingatan natin sa atin pong mga anak. There are issues like child being threatened of exposing private photos. So we should know this in order for us to, as teachers, be able to protect our children. Our students are our children. We have to be protecting them most of the time. So Anti-Child Pornography Act of 2009, it is an act defining the crime of child pornography, prescribing penalties therefore and for other purposes. It aims to protect every child. I have read it in section 2. It aims to protect every child from all forms of exploitation and abuse, including but not limited to the use of a child in pornographic performances and material inducement or coercion of a child to engage or be involved in pornography through whatever means. So dito po papasok yung if in case you have students sharing with you that have been abused, dito po tayo magbe-base sa act na ito. Next. So there are existing laws in the Philippines that cover the uses of internet. Some of the offenses are the following. So meron po tayo niyan. I mentioned it earlier, identity theft. The crime of obtaining the personal or financial information of another person for the sole purpose of assuming that person's name or identity in order to make transactions or purchases. So the use of someone else's identity, it is usually as a method to gain financial advantage or obtain credit. Yan ang sinasabi ko po kanina, other benefits in other person's name. So we have to be very careful of this offense. Huwag na nating hintayin. Next is forgery. Forgery is the process of making, adapting, or imitating objects, statistics, or documents with the intent to deceive for the sake of altering the public perception or to earn profit by selling the forged item. Forging money or currency is more often called counterfeiting. So dito rin pumapasok the filling of blanks on a document containing a genuine signature. We alter a signature, you could be filed a case of forgery. Okay, fake news. Mga fake news, yan na yan siya. Or counterfeiting. I made an imitation of something else that intend to deceive. Yan siya. Cybersex. Parang ayoko itong pag-usapan yung mga ganito, nanginginig ang tuhod ko eh. Marami kasi tayong issues nito. Talaga. We all know that we are all responsible of what we do. Pero talagang minsan may talagang makakating utak na nagiging dahilan kung bakit naging viral itong cybersex issue na ito. Di ba? So, this is any sexual arousal using computer technology, especially by wearing virtual reality equipment or by exchanging messages with another person via internet. No, di ba? Mag-exchange na lang ng mga hindi magagandang messages. Mapopost pa. Di ba? So, any sexual activity display or discussion engaged in by means of computer or an online sex-oriented conversation and exchanges. Diyan po lahat papasok ang cybersex. Next, child pornography. Child pornography is, napaka-inosente ng mata ng bata dyan. Yan ang pinili kong image. So child pornography refers to any representation with a visual, audio, or written combination thereof by electronic, mechanical, digital, optical, magnetic, or any other means of child engaged or involved in real or simulated explicit sexual activities. So this is a pornography that exploits children for sexual stimulation. Ito po siya. It may be produced with a direct involvement or sexual assault of a child, or maybe a stimulated child pornography. So we have to be very much aware of this. Next po. Cyberbullying. Ito na siya. Minsan ganito ako eh. Send or post text or images intended to hurt or embarrass another person. It is the repeated misuse of these technologies to harass, intimidate, bully, or terrorize another person. It is a cyber harassment, another term for cyberbullying. Cyber harassment, as a form of bullying to harass using electronic means. Sending offensive and harassing messages. Okay, sanctions. Let's go with the sanctions. Can a culprit be punished? Of course, mayroong law, may sanction on the use of internet. So, punishable acts and its corresponding penalties under RA 10175. Illegal access. Of course, it's self-explanatory. In-access mo yung account ni Sir San Catelo. be ready with your 200,000 pesos and 6 years and 1 day imprisonment. Diba? Illegal access, illegal interception, data interference, system interference, cyber squatting. Oh, may squatting din po sa cyber world. Ano po yung cyber squatting? A practice of registering names, especially well-known company or brand names as internet domains in the hope of reselling them at a profit. Yan siya. Yan po ang cyber squatting. Or computer-related offenses. Sorry. Wala na pong water. What's the fine? It's fine of at least 200,000 or more. 6 years and 1 day, 12 years imprisonment or both. Misuse of devices. Maling gamit po natin ang mga devices. Fine of more than 500,000. 6 years and 1 day to 12 years imprisonment or both. Next, for the cyber sex. What is its sanction? 200,000 to 1 million pesos of fine. 6 years and 1 day up to 12 years imprisonment or both. Next, child pornography. Once you are proven to have done this to a child, RA 9775. Bakit mali na yung numbering ko doon? Ano po ang fine? Maliit. Dapat malaki ito. 50,000 pesos. Ayun pala yung malaki. Hanggang 5 million pesos. 1 month and 1 day to 30 years imprisonment. This is depending on the committed offenses under RA 9775. So sana po lahat ng gumagawa nito ma-penalize. Next, libel. Libel is a handbill especially attacking or defaming someone. Defamation of a person by written or representational means. So ano po ang fine? 6,000 pesos and more to 6 years imprisonment, 6 years and 1 day to 12 years. Yan po siya. Other offenses, aiding or abetting in the commission of cybercrime or attempt in the commission of cybercrime, aiding or provoking. Or you are provoking the commission, or you are attempting to, or you are attacking, or you try to attack the commission. There is also a fine for this, a 100,000 to 500,000 pesos of fine and an imprisonment of 1 year, degree lower or both. So that's it. Finally, natapos po. Marami pong salamat mga haguro. God bless po.
Thank you very much, Ma'am Verna. So, how are you participants? How are you fellow participants?
Thank you, Ma'am Verna.
You're still alive? Okay pa ba tayo? So, we are done with our 4 sessions. So, we are now waiting for
Questions and answers. Okay, the floor is open for any clarification for our speakers. Okay, any question po? Sa YouTube, sa natin sa YouTube natin, may mga question po ba? So that's sa YouTube, sa natin sa YouTube natin, may mga question po ba? So that ma-answer po ng mga speakers
Okay,
po
and
natin for today.
as a reminder, I would like to remind everyone, if you would like to ask question, you may type your queries on the chat box for clarification and other questions. So the floor is welcome. The floor is open. So we welcome all the questions and queries. So first, okay, while waiting for your questions, let us first read your messages. So from Ma'am Connie La Chica. Congrats. Excellent speaker. So, thank you very much po, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you po. Okay, Sir Charles, kindly do you, there may mga tanong po ba from YouTube natin? Sir, kindly check please. So there's parang walang magtatanong. Wag pong mahiya magtanong mga attendees and viewers. Yes, sir.
Okay, maraming salamat po Sir Charles for that another insight. So, talagang dapat talaga very careful tayo when it comes to managing or using the social media as platform in expressing our opinions, right? Nanig ba ako? Okay, so again, tingnan po natin yung mga questions. As of now, wala pa po nagpo-post ng question. So, we still have time before our end of session this morning.
Still have time for almost 30 minutes po para makapag-post ng questions. Siguro while waiting, we need to have some important information in terms for submission of
the submission of the evaluation form, because sir, this will serve as their attendance for the day. So all the teachers or the participants are required to submit their evaluation form online. So merong binigay po na link.
Nakapost po.
It is posted on the screen. Diyan po tayo mag-fill out ng ating evaluation regarding the speaker, the session, and
Ma'am Tumang, linawin ko lang po hindi po lahat ng ating speaker ay merong output. So kasi ang ating seminar is composed of seminar and training. So kapag trainings po ito, siguro may required na output. On the other hand naman kapag seminar, siguro yung evaluation lang pong i-accomplish ng attendees po natin. Don't worry teachers and attendees ng teaching staff, we will be giving you generate certificate to be sent to your email account. So dapat ang email po natin ay active at nabubuksan po natin.
Yes. Active DepEd email account, sir, ang dapat nilang gamitin. Okay? So
sa mga attendees po natin sa live streaming in YouTube, still you can have the evaluation, just accomplish the evaluation so that you will be having your attendance as well as your certificates. So I hope that nagets po ng lahat. So I just want also to thank everyone for this opening remark, opening program, opening was one first day of our first ever virtual inset the as part of the technical working group. I'm very happy because this is first time here in Aborlan as well as in the division of Palawan. So talagang pinagplanuhan at pinaghirapan po ng ating mga teachers, and I hope na sana ay i-support po natin siya from the start until the end of the training with the help also and support of our previous principal as well as our newly installed principal, Ma'am Tonilyn Diaz. Okay, may question na ba?
Yes, sir. Meron po tayong question from Sir Raniel Erwin Pezanya. For modalities, what do you think is thanks? So, since yes,
Ano ba
it's
yan,
my
ma'am?
topic. So for me, since in as majority of the students really are in need of a concrete material for learning, so best pa din that we should really use the modular. Kasi we can really use online effectively, but they are very much distracted with different apps while using their phone, 'di ba? Sometimes 1 minute lang mag-check ng mga learning activities on DepEd Commons. Majority of the time they spend it on playing online apps. So it's really hard. Marami tayong kompetensya when we are using this online modality. While if we use modular, 'di ba? They will since we are in the English department, I think itong goal natin for let them able to read while learning, 'di ba? Ganon. So it's really important, or this is really efficient, this mode, because it will really help the student to learn, lalo na this is self learning module. So meron na yung answer. The parents will facilitate their child. So it's up to them paano nila i-facilitate yung learning. So magkakaroon pa ng bonding ang parents at yung ating mga students while learning, 'di ba? They will be able to relate different situations in their situations at home. So that's it for me as your speaker for this morning. This is only my opinion, but for in our situation in Aborlan National High School, modular the MDL is really most
Thank you, Ma'am Tumang. Yes po, ganun talaga. We need to localize and kasi nagkaroon tayo ng needs analyzation eh. As you can see, nagkaroon ng survey. So, Sir Rainier, before naman nag-come up with the decision, nagkaroon naman tayo ng survey. So, actually, it will be discussed also tomorrow. Parang action research din po siya in terms of needs analyzation. Okay, information lang. Just want to info. Yes po, ma'am.
Based doon sa
Yes,
ating
yes po, yes
LSF,
po.
no, yung survey na ginawa natin sa mga nagpa-enroll sa atin, ang lumalabas na ang kanilang chosen modality ay ang modular. So, yun. Thank you.
Okay, so ang mga bata na ang nagsalita, di ba, ma'am? So the student speaks. Learning more or one day. So I think depende pa din po sa district supervisor kung ano po ang needs ng ating distrito. So as far as ma'am said, ang lumabas po sa school natin ay modular. So yun lang po, ang may mga negative lang po siyang labas kasi po ito, no? At saka workload talaga sa mga teachers kasi they need to print it out. So talagang costly in terms of expenses. Dapat po ang speakers po natin. So 4 times po tayong mag-evaluate. Just be okay. This evaluation will serve as room for improvement of each speakers as well as the team in terms of the program execution. So I hope that you should be more realistic and please provide us comments and suggestions. So the management and the administration headed by our principal most welcome in terms of your evaluation. So kahit po sa labas po yung mga attendees natin sa teachers sa ibang schools and districts, you are
Sir, in
welcome to
addition to
evaluate
that,
us.
I would like to remind the MOLs for the following days. Tomorrow will be the schedule of PLE and MAPE. Then on Wednesday, it will be the scheduled MOL is the Filipino department. On Thursday, Science and Apan department. And the last day, on Friday, Senior High School and Math department. Again, MOL contains the opening prayer or doxology, the national, energizer inside. Okay, so please prepare ahead of time. If you are experiencing technical problems, you may tap us or you can visit us if you want. We can help you to get through with that MOL before the beginning of the program tomorrow. Okay, so I would like to remind again, yung evaluation po natin, wag po natin kalimutan. So this will serve as your attendance for evaluation for today. Okay, so again, I would like to acknowledge. Yes, sir.
Okay, kay Sir Pesanya, may concern nga like gastos and distribution according to IATF. Actually, yes po, part din ng natin ng actually it's a challenge on our part how to distribute our module, di ba? Hindi naman natin pwedeng pupuntahin yung mga bata kasi di ba our cases here in Palawan is emerging talaga kasi dumadami. So talagang kailangan nating i-prevent. So actually as a teacher, di ba, we are passionate naman and we are willing, di ba, to serve our country with utmost trust and confidence. So siguro tayo po ang may risk doon. We, as a teacher, we will be having our great risk in this module. So I hope that the agency, the department will be having more to reflect.
Okay, yes, sir, that is true. We are already a frontline teachers are still. There are previous principals, Sir Benjamin coming up from Elisa Panes, PhD, for her suggestions and recommendations. The newly installed principal of Aborlan National High School, Ma'am Tonelyn Diaz, for the unconditional support, love, guidance that you have given to us this entire week of preparation. And of course, to the technical working group that you have worked so hard, even if it cost you a lot of time, money, hunger, and whatsoever. Drought, wow. So thank you very much. I hope. Okay, meron po tayong feedback.
Okay.
Ayan. Sige.
Okay, ako na magbabasa. Okay, feedback lang from parents on chosen modality. Others, di nila masyadong naintindihan ang blended learning, kaya modular lang ang pinili. But one problem nila ay paano nila i-facilitate ang module, especially those parents na challenge din kasi baka kahit sila hirap sa comprehension. Okay, it's one of our challenge actually, di ba? So how can we teach? How the parents teach if they, di ba, sila mismo, di ba, having challenges in terms of teaching or the learning itself. So actually, one of the suggestion in our graduate school that we need to teach first the teacher before, or that the student should teach first the teacher before it will be done. Why? Because the modular or the module making or the online in every modalities is very new in their perceptions as parents. So therefore, there should be a great guidance on the part of the teacher. Kaya nga sabi nila, ang teacher daw ay gagawa lang ng module at sa bahay. No po, hindi lang po ang gagawin natin yon. Kasi we are open, we are also a frontliners, open tayo 24/7. So our line will be open to all the parents having difficulties in terms of understanding these modules. As well as hindi pa naman po talaga provided na tayo ay walang face-to-face o hindi magkikita-kita. As I said so po, ang blended learning ay composed of face-to-face as well as modular. So online or modular. So ang modular is part also of blended. So therefore, pwede magkaroon ng module 4 times a week. Then ang pagka 5th day nila or may 1 day pong dapat mag-meet ang bata which to discuss the challenges inside the module or to assess. So yun pa ang prescribed po dito sa Aborlan kasi nga hindi pa naman po masyadong, or in the division of Palawan kasi hindi pa naman po masyadong mataas ang ating cases. So therefore, still we were able to cope up to the needs of the parents in teaching their students. Pero hindi po ito pwede sa NCR or sa mas matataas na cases. Why? So because they have their own needs and the needs has their own solution. Therefore, yun po ang one of the challenge na kaharapin ng mga teachers. And still the department, I am confidently saying naman the Department of Education is still working on it to make a module that are very simple to understand. Kaya po ang module parts po natin ngayon kung nakapag-write siya po yung ibang teachers are simple lang po ang paggawa ng module, sisimplihan lang po ito so that mabilis na ma-understand. At saka po ang ating evaluation po dito, ang mga pinapagawa po dito ay localized or makikita sa school ay sa bahay. So ang tawag dito ay in-service training which they learn from the community, they should learn from the community, they should learn from their homes. So kunyari sa TLE po, instead of magpagawa ka ng ganitong prescribed na mga cooking, siguro po magpagawa sila ng cooking sa module na about yung pwede localized lang po kung available po ito sa kanilang bahay or community. Then how to reflect. Reflection will be their evaluation. Actually po talagang hindi natin magagawa 100% ang previous nating educational system. Kasi po talaga nagkaroon tayo ng challenges and nag-iba po talaga lahat. So hindi man natin maabot ang 100% but we're trying our best to give education that will last as lifelong learnings to our students. Salamat po.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. In addition to that, yes, it has already been suggested by our SDS Mambayubay that the modular approach will be the main modality of the Division of Palawan. So, despite we are using modules, yun nga po, we are really taking risk on delivering it to the students. At the same time, the risk there also that we are going to encounter or the problem is that in this type of module na the parents are being challenged. So, it's really difficult, but what we can do as teachers is to facilitate them, answer their queries, and address their problems. Ganun po. So, we cannot we cannot say no to this because this is our job. This is our the oath that we have taken before we enter the service of being a public servant. So, ayun po. Ganun talaga. Diba, sir?
Siguro Ma'am Tumang, we need to accept the challenge, no?
Oo, ganun.
Actually, we are accepting the challenge right now.
Okay, so, we only have 1 minute.
1 minute na lang.
1 minute na lang. Diba?
Okay, we will also need to take our lunch kasi po may mga family tayo. Actually po ganito ang ano dyan, kahit nasa work from home po tayo, we cannot, di ba, we cannot say na hindi tayo magtatrabaho or mag-asikaso ng ating pamilya. So kaya po pinili po namin na nasa gitna-gitna po talaga yung oras so that you can have also time for the needs of your family.
Okay.
So siguro, hindi naman siguro kawalan or yung 3 oras na makinig po. So any question pa po? Wala na, so wala na siguro, no? Okay, siguro i-reserve nila.
Okay, so the link will be available until 2 p.m. this afternoon, the link for the evaluation. Okay, stand by in your GCs, in our GCs po, doon sa mga link na ibibigay ng ating mga
materials.
Technical working group ni Ma'am Jam.
Okay, for the other speakers po, we should have, nagsabi po sila na dapat meron tayong laptop available. Okay, lalo na sa topic ni Sir Acosta. So please make your laptop available with a PowerPoint 2010 and above. So please make your laptop available with the Windows 2010 and above.
Hello. Sir Denise, ikaw may reminders ka ba? May reminders ka ba? May kailangan ba silang i-provide bukas? Okay. Okay, so yung participants should prepare your laptops and cell phones for tomorrow's training. May mga demo po kasi. Thank you.
Okay, hindi natin papahabain to kasi alam ko naman na lahat tayo ay very excited for our lunch. But before we end, I just want to say thank you, especially to our speakers. Congratulations. Okay, you can open your camera so that we will have our picture taking as MOB. Open your camera. You can open also your mic po.
Hello, good morning. Good noon na pala.
Kita. Hello, ma'am.
Thank you po sa lahat na nag-attend.
Salamat po. Just open your cameras.
Yung presentation lang dyan.
Sir, open po ng camera niyo.
Open na.
Sir Denise?
Yung presentation po.
Okay, so thank you very much.
Salamat po.
Welcome po.
Bye. Bye.
Next time.
Mamaya na.
Pwede na lang ang ating live. Thank you.
Salamat po.
Pwede na lang tayo. Okay, pwede na po kayong mag-out. Thank you.